'Tis the season, ladies. Derby City Roller Girls. Had people, you lovely ladies, on in the past, but you all are here to promote your season opener.
Yes.
You know, it's coming up on February 23rd.
That's right.
You know, we've got Liberty, Kamikaze
Yes.
in the house.
In the house.
Are you all? Did you dress to impress, or were you all coming from, something?
It doesn't matter where we were coming from.
That's fair enough.
All right.
She's already in
We're Derby City Roller Girls.
badass mode here.
We had to put our jerseys on.
I
We want to
appreciate it.
promote. We want to promote our team. We want to promote the sport, and definitely are looking to get more folks to our home games that are now being played at the Kentucky International Convention Center.
We met at at events towards, what was the latter part of January.
Yep.
Tried to do a segment. It was just too noisy, but we're here tonight to again promote the opening match, or you call it, what do you call it?
No, we call it bouts.
Bouts, yeah.
Yes.
So on February 23rd, and again, it's at the Kentucky International Convention Center.
Yep.
Which is new. That's
Completely renovated, great space. We are so excited to be there. There's actually a doubleheader that day, so we'll have the juniors play, and then our all-star team.
Gotcha.
And Meg can add to that.
Well, let's get, I want to get a little bit of background on you both, and we'll start with you, Meg/Liberty. What's your story? What are you bringing here? What kind of attitude you bringing here tonight?
So my name's Liberty Hammer. I started almost a year ago with Kamikaze, and we started in the same training camp together, and we were accepted on the team around the same time. And she and I both come from pretty athletic backgrounds. I myself came from martial arts and basketball, and so I like the full contact element and not afraid of that at all.
It sounds like it.
And I've always liked skated all the time when I was younger, and so it was just it was pretty great to be able to come there and not only get the athleticism, to find a badass group of women that's been hanging out at the skating rink the whole time.
They're pretty badass. Just in interviews or conversations with them, I can tell that I don't think I'd want to be, well, never mind. We got Kamikaze. You mentioned you all came up together, so.
Yep, we joined the same boot camp, did not know each other, and ironically, we actually live around the corner from one another, which is also awesome.
Did you all not know that either?
We did not know that either.
Right.
Nope. And so I moved to Louisville 12 years ago, and as an adult, you don't have your high school friends or even your elementary friends that you've grown up with, and it's just really hard to meet people as an adult. And I was looking for a sport to get into. I went to see the Derby City Roller Girls last year, the same time, for their opening scrimmage.
That's what I went to.
And I looked at my husband and I said, I'm joining a roller derby. I actually signed up like the next week, and here I am. Liberty and I actually just both got rostered for the Bourbon Brawlers. So we have an overarching name, Derby City Roller Girls. We have an all-star team, which is our A team. We have a B team, the Bourbon Brawlers. And we also have a junior league, the River City Roller Girls.
So there's three.
There's three individual teams underneath the overarching Derby City Roller Girls.
Gotcha.
So as a conglomerate, we are Derby City Roller Girls.
Gotcha.
But there's different teams that play for different reasons and different times. So, I mean, it's just been a great experience.
Boot camp, elaborate. What was that like, or what's the what's that all about?
Boot camp is kind of crazy to come into because they take everyone, whether you've never been on skates before or whether you've been some kind of champion speed skater your whole life. So whenever you come in, it doesn't matter if you have no experience or if you've been, on wheels your entire life or not, because you're coming there, you're learning how to fall, how to hit, and you're learning everything that Derby needs, which are completely different components than anything that you may have been used to or not even known before. You've seen, there's some girls there that whenever they come in, you're almost terrified to watch them go. And then others, they come in there with all the confidence in the world because they've done some other element of skating. But either way, everybody's always got something to learn. You can never stop getting better.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Or you're going to jump.
I was just going to elaborate on that because, so save your question real quick because I want her to elaborate more on
Okay.
the WFTDA. But when you enter our boot camp, we have an overarching governing committee, but you have to learn 17 minimum skills to even join the team. But even if, like she said, if you don't know how to skate, we will teach you how to skate. If you are uncomfortable or scared, we encourage everyone to come because we can teach you those basic 17 minimum skills to get you past the test in order to be on the league. But I'll let you speak to the WFTDA a little bit more.
What's that called? Say it again.
WFTDA,
Okay.
the Women's Flat Track Derby
so it's an
Association.
acronym. Okay, good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you just want to speak to that a little bit.
It's just the organization that we're governed by. So they span not only across the U.S. but actually across the world. So it's the league and the governing organization that joins all the roller derby teams in every continent, and it's pretty great because all their policies and procedures and rules and everything are actually voted on by their members, written by the members. Everyone is just very self-sufficient and pulls their own weight. So just because you're the new guy doesn't mean that you don't have your part to pull.
Yep.
When I hear the word boot camp, well, first of all, how long is boot camp? How long?
It's typically 12 weeks.
So 12 weeks. So when I think of boot camp, I think of you got this amount of people who show up,
Yep.
but then with most boot camps, like it kind of starts getting weeded. You weed out the who's able and not able.
Yeah.
So same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Same thing.
So give me if you either know the number or an idea on how many people first opening day of boot camp.
Well, actually, at our last boot camp, that was the biggest one that we ever had, and we had more than 70 people sign up for it. And then by the end of the 12 weeks, there were about 12 or so who were actually assessing. The others either kind of dropped off or backed out or were injured.
Or came back.
Yeah,
The next boot camp.
Yep, exactly. Or
Okay.
they went ahead and just signed up again. So no one's ever expected to pass on the first time through. So.
But actually, in our boot camp, we had a lady join us, and then she got injured, and then she took some
At
time
the
off for
next.
her child.
Right.
No, not at the next one.
Oh,
It's been 3 boot camps, and now she's back.
Oh,
And so
okay.
we were really excited about that.
Okay. So the fact that she missed 3, does that?
It doesn't even matter. As
Oh,
long
does
as
it?
you come back and
Okay.
you want to stay engaged with us,
Right.
we will keep
Okay.
engaging you and keep training you.
All right, gotcha. You touched on something too, because the segment I did before you all showed up, one of the guests is he wrestles, professional wrestler with OPW. So I know in their line of work, they have to learn to as they say, take bumps. They learn to fall right correctly, and you mentioned that too. So there is a true, I guess a means or a way that you want to fall or land.
Absolutely.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
talk me through some of that.
So obviously it's a full contact sport.
Right.
You know you're going to get hit. You know it's going to hurt, and you know that somebody's going to touch you at some point. So there are legal hitting zones and there are illegal hitting zones that'll put you straight into the penalty box. Some can even get you expelled from the game. So it's not quite the 70s roller derby that everybody still talks about, where they're throwing a skate in the gut or anything like that. It's,
Which is more in line with our OVW guy. But
yeah, it's more regulated and it's far more athletic, and it's just really great what they've done with it since in the decades since the 70s, and in terms of like how to fall safe and everything, and the ways that you want to fall. I mean, no one is out there to end anyone else's skating career, so but at the same time, whenever you're out there, like whenever you fall, you're on your own and your team has to go on without you.
That's right. But also, you want to fall small. So
Right.
you're in a pack. We skate in packs. We're all bunched up. There's a lot of skates in the way. There's a lot of people together all at the same time. So you want to fall small. So they teach you how to fall small. They teach you how to fall small and not get hurt,
Right.
for the most part. I mean, there are ways that you can fall and get hurt, but they want to teach you the basics of, if you're gonna fall, always lean forward,
Gotcha.
fall on your knees, keep your fingers in, right? Because that's important.
Yeah.
Try not to fall on your wrists. So all of that is an important dynamic. And then on the flip side of that, if one of your teammates has fallen, you don't want to give a low block. So how to avoid the skaters in the pack who have fallen and how not to hurt them while they're down.
Leap.
It's all,
you jump?
leaping, avoiding, all of that is taught. Yep.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, the derby injuries can be pretty gnarly, and if anyone likes to get grossed out, then they can just go to the derby injury Facebook pages.
But I
Are you
wouldn't.
serious?
But I wouldn't start there.
There's a visual?
I wouldn't start there
Yeah.
because we don't want to freak anybody out. We want to invite people to the sport.
Oh, come on. I can't post a pic of someone's femur, or poked out of your skin or something.
Yeah.
With a big smile on their face.
With a big smile on your face.
But you know what they say once they're hurt? They say, when can I come back?
When can you come back?
Exactly.
When can I come back?
We don't know anyone who's had an injury so bad that it stopped them.
Yeah.
So-
Okay, so that's good. But, then the basically the percentages there say eventually it's
So does professional football, right?
That's true.
So
That's true.
there's
You're
a lot
always
of injuries in professional football,
technically you're one play away.
but you're one play away.
Yeah, every sport has their shelf
Everyone-
life.
That's
Right,
right.
they do.
But this is just such a great sport for women and for the community. So we invite everyone, and we don't want to scare anyone off.
Looking at your outfits, which you look very nice.
Thank you.
What equipment? What are you wearing? During these bouts. You got
Lots of sweat.
Well,
So much sweat.
So much sweat.
You got a
We have a helmet.
Yeah. Pads.
Elbow pads,
Yeah.
wrist guards, mouth guard, knee pads. I'm thinking about wearing football shorts soon.
For real?
For real.
Which would, as in putting pads in the.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's allowed then.
It's allowed.
Okay.
It's allowed, yes.
Yeah, everything else you mentioned is totally required. You can't step out on the track
You
without
cannot
Okay,
step out on the
that's-
track
okay,
without
gotcha.
being fully equipped. And
Gotcha,
you'd be
okay.
surprised. I never thought the mouth guard would be so important,
Oh, sure.
but it is so important for your playing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It even helps them prevent concussions and biting your tongue. And
Yeah, we've actually seen a girl take a skate to the mouth, and it was just fine because of her mouth guard.
Yep.
So.
Wait,
Yep.
It was just fine. She took a skate to the mouth, but it was just
it
fine.
was just
It worked
fun.
out great, yeah.
The lips were puffed out to here, but her teeth were all still in place. Good way to put it. Like just fine. I'm not trying to spook people here, but just like any other real contact sport, you got a sport that people are falling and probably falling on their concussions. Is that like
We're trying to teach everyone to fall small and fall forward.
yeah?
Falling backwards
Right.
does happen.
Right.
I mean, but there's lots of great equipment out there to prevent the concussion. And there's lots of great helmets out there that stop it.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, a lot of our equipment makers also offer insurance.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
like the mouth guards that we buy them yearly. They insure your mouth, so you don't have to have extra insurance for your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
The helmets that we buy, some of them also offer that registration process where there's a warranty for your helmet. So, yes, concussions happen, but we try to mitigate that by teaching people to stay safe.
Yeah, and you touched on the fact that no one's out there trying to intentionally hurt someone.
That's right.
But let's. I think am I safe to say that in the heat of the moment, in the heat of battle, in your ambition to win the bout,
Anything is possible.
anything's possible.
Anything
So,
is possible.
But is there situations where, somebody, whether, present company, people on your team or the other team, kind of
There have been injuries,
Okay.
but people come back.
intentional? That's what I meant.
No, not intentional.
well,
I've never seen
okay.
anything intentional.
That's what I'm getting at. Is that in the heat of the
No.
moment, you're trying to keep maybe not intentional, but you're maybe too aggressive.
Sometimes there are penalties that
Okay,
happen
but-
that are unintentional.
Okay, so that's my next thing. So obviously there's referees.
Yes.
Yeah. How
There
many
has
ref-
to be 7 refs on the floor.
Oh,
A
there's 7.
lot.
Yes, there has
That
to be
is a lot.
7. So today in roller derby, we don't have like real-time playback, right? Like they have in football. So
No instant replay.
no instant replays on a penalty. So
Yeah.
we do have to have the refs who are monitoring the external, the refs who are who are
Each ref is clearly assigned
each
to a
ref
spot
is
or whatever.
assigned a
Yeah.
task to watch, and then if there's an official review, they all come together to talk about what they saw. So there are refs watching us at all times.
Is there? How often will someone get kicked out of a bout?
I don't know. I'm too new.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it happen.
Yeah.
I've not even seen it
Yeah.
happen in the international championships.
really. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I'm guessing clearly, someone if anybody got kicked out, they've done something too aggressive.
Yeah.
and-
And that's really not what the sport is about. It's really
Right.
not to come take out of your. A lot of people have this predetermination, like roller derby is about aggression, and it's really more about the sport. Do you want
Right.
to talk about how it's played?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Well, basically, we play on a flat track oval, an oval track, and there are 10 people out on the track at all times, so
It is
5
flat?
on each team.
For some reason, why am I thinking there was?
Banked?
Yeah.
Because
no?
you've seen too many movies.
No, they still have bank track, and the thing
That would
about
explain
it
it.
too is that you would have to have like a consistent place to play to keep up that track too.
That's true.
So the flat track derby though, like you have 5 players on each team. You have a jammer on each team and 4 blockers, and basically the jammers are trying to get out through both of the packs and get around, and for every opposing person that they pass, they gain points. So sometimes there's hundreds and 200s and 300s of points in the game.
Does it get that much? Really?
Yeah.
It can get pretty
Yeah.
high. The
But
highest I
the-
saw in the championships, though, was like 170. something.
Really?
Maybe
How
180.
many points do you get? Per.
You pass
Every
4
person.
hips.
Yeah.
So the jammer's the 5th person. So
Right.
there's 4 blockers.
Right.
For every hip. So for every round you pass, that's 4 points if you pass every hip.
Gotcha.
So whenever you see like the end scores for a game, that's how many times that the opposing team was lapped. But my favorite thing about derby is that it's simultaneous offense and defense. So like
That's true.
with
Right.
with football and basketball and that kind of stuff, like you run to one end,
Any sport except for roller derby.
you run to one end and you're playing offense, and then you run back and you bring out the special team just for that. And no, you are playing offense and defense. You're trying to get your jammer out. You're trying to keep their jammer back. You're trying to block off their blockers, and
Try not to get hit.
yeah, you're doing all the things.
Yeah.
And,
that's our favorite saying. We're doing all the things all at
Yeah,
once.
That's what I love about it. And the other thing that I love about derby too is that I heard someone say once that derby is the only sport that started out for women, because otherwise you hear of like volleyball and then women's volleyball, or basketball and women's basketball.
Yeah.
And then derby,
because they never say.
it's roller derby,
Yeah.
and then there's men's roller derby.
Yeah.
So that's the other
That's a good-
that's the
I've
other kind
never-
of component
yeah.
of it that I love. So.
So take that, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, take that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how it's played, and it's also broken up into 2 halves, and
How long is each half?
so they're 30 minutes, and each half is further divided up into what's called jams, and jams can run up to 2 minutes. So you can get like about an average of 21 jams per half, and so if you think about it, that's pretty like high intensity, short interval. Amounts of time that
So
you're out there
we're
playing.
talking potentially up to 2 hours of play. I mean, what?
2 hours. No, 1 hour of play.
Just no, but I thought the jams added on to the third.
No.
Oh, okay.
So the periods are split up into 2-minute jams.
Oh, I got. No, I got you.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's-
But
So instead of there
So-
being quarters, there's
Right.
all the jams.
Right. Okay.
So, but the objective is to become the lead jammer. So if you get out before the other jammer, you have the ability to call the jam. So you are in control of who's going to score points here. So if our jammer gets out first, she's going to get the first chance at the scoring passes because you have to get out first.
Right.
Then once she comes around, if she has a jammer on her tail, she might want to just call the jam right then. So maybe the jam lasts 30 seconds. Or she might want to keep going if our blockers are holding their jammer in, she can keep coming around and scoring. So it's all about strategy, right? Like where is their jammer and compared to my blockers, and what are my blockers doing for me? Because it's all about, can my blockers get me out and play offense, to destroy the other team of blockers and do all the things.
I'm curious. When what's the best, like football, NFL, like there's, during play, there's like holding and interference. What are some of the types of penalties that are called?
I love this question.
Okay.
Or what are some of the things
if
you all do to
Izzy
try to
is
cheat to
watching
win?
this, he's gonna totally destroy me because I don't know that many, and he's gonna be like, Kelly sucks. But the biggest one I know is cut.
So what is that? Is that
a cut means if we knock you out of bounds, you have to come back in behind the player that knocked you out of bounds.
okay?
If
But knocking someone out of bounds is encouraged, right?
well, sure, because you're
Best thing you
interrupting
can do.
their blocking,
Right.
and so you're basically
But
stopping them.
they got to go.
They have to come back, and I can back up a certain amount of space as long as I keep the pack. But if they go out and then come back in front of me, they cut automatically.
That's a
the
penalty.
biggest one I know.
Okay.
We also have
So what happens when they call that penalty? Is play stopped or how does
No.
Go to the penalty box.
that?
Goes-
That person has to
do not pass go straight to the penalty
Straight in the
box.
box. Okay.
Yes.
And then you sit there for 30 seconds. So
Okay.
Yep.
What is the one penalty that will get you in the box the longest?
arguing with the refs.
Yes, you can actually get two. So arguing with if you get called on a penalty and then you argue with the refs, you get two penalties stacked. So then you're in there for up to a minute.
Is there any keywords that you shouldn't use to the refs? Like
Don't be crappy to the refs.
Yeah.
Just get off the track. You got called for a penalty. Be a team player. Get off and go to your seat.
Because I mean, if you think about it, we are, volunteering our time. We're, putting in our time and effort. The refs are doing the same. Nobody's getting paid to do this. This is all volunteer. And if you're sitting there being all crappy to volunteer people, I mean, nobody wants to come there and put up with that.
It's also bad teamwork. We know the rules. If we didn't follow them, whether on purpose or not on purpose, you should just go to the box and, take it and then get up and go. So.
There it is. That's why I had told you. What brought you all to the convention center? How'd that all work out for you?
We have been looking for a place for a long time to play our games and rebuild our fan base, and the Kentucky Convention Center has just been remodeled. It's an all-new great space, and they're actually trying to diverse their clients. So this is actually really great for us because it brings a different type of event to the Kentucky International Convention Center, and we get to be a part of that.
Yeah, and it's going to help us a lot too because where we practice, it has a wooden track, and the International Convention Center has a concrete floor. So that's
So are you actually on the concrete floor? You're not.
At the convention center we are, which is a lot better for all of us
Okay.
who know there's a lot of complexities that goes into skating. Like what types of wheels do you buy and what kind of moves can you do
that's a good
based on
point.
the
Yeah,
kinds of kinds of surface that you're
Right,
skating
yeah.
on. You're kind of limited sometimes, and a lot of times when the wood surface expands, it gets what we call sticky, and then your wheels don't work right, which means certain kind of stops don't work right, which means certain kind of moves don't work right. So we're actually excited about the new space.
But the wood is a little more forgiving than the concrete, though.
It certainly is.
yeah.
Yeah.
So have you all been able to practice on?
Not yet.
Oh, really?
Not yet. We've had a couple skaters go out there and check out the space
Yeah.
and just say they're excited about it. But to be honest, we do a lot of clinics with the Nashville Roller Girls and a lot of interaction with them, and they have a concrete surface. So a lot of girls get a lot of practice.
Been able to get some.
Yes,
All
by
right,
going
cool.
to some of the Nashville Girls clinics and trainings.
Which I'm guessing is in Nashville.
Is in Nashville,
Okay.
and
Okay.
yes, they are also an awesome affiliate.
Very
so,
cool. Very cool. So February 23rd
Yes.
at the convention center, the is it Demolition City Roller Derby out of Evansville.
Yes, that's who we're playing.
So obviously the convention center is your home field, or what? Not field, but what's the word? I'm looking for?
Home base.
Base, I guess. Base. How many actually teams are in the league, or?
In the WFTDA?
Yeah. Well, that you all will be playing. Like, I see 3 bouts coming up, but is there?
We try to play like regional teams,
Okay.
especially for our stats. So if you want to see our stats and our standings, like how we track penalties and where we stand in the league, you can always go to wftda.org
Gotcha.
and look at all of the leagues.
So there is that governing body.
There is that governing body.
Yeah.
So we do have what we call sanctioned games. So our A team will always have the sanctioned games.
Gotcha.
Our B team will always be playing just normal games that are not tracked for rankings.
Right.
Yeah, just
And
like regional teams.
Yep, regional teams. But we do sometimes go to tournaments like in North Carolina or Muncie, Indiana, and you can check us out there. We also invite anyone who wants to follow us to come with us.
I'm looking here. There's teams you're playing: Evansville, Paducah, Bowling Green. Is there any other regional teams that you will be playing, or
I'm not sure yet, so I couldn't comment on that specifically.
Okay.
But sometimes we.
any road games identified yet? Bouts, I mean.
I think there is away games.
Is there?
Yep, there's. I think there's 3 home and 3 away
So
for
you
this
got that.
season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So you can check that out on DerbyCityRollerGirls.com. You can also check out our junior league, which accepts players from
8 to 17.
8 to 17.
8?
Yes.
As in you're 8 years old.
8
River
years
City
old.
Roller.
So on that junior team, you might have an 8-year-old.
They are divided up into their own kind of tiers,
Okay.
and it is based on age. So you're not going to have an
Right,
8-year-old
yeah,
going up
okay,
against a
all right, okay.
almost 18-year-old.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's really great to watch them play, because if you think about like how kids that age are so damn resilient, like I mean they're just like bouncing up off the
They
floor.
learn a lot
total
faster than we do.
recovery.
Yeah, sure.
So
And get those kids out of the house and off their phones and all that.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're always accepting new members. We are always accepting new members. We have boot camps
like 3 times a
3
year.
times a year. I think twice a year.
Twice. Okay.
But because our season goes from our playing season goes from February to June, but our practice season goes from September of the previous year to June. So we only get 2 months off a year. So we're always practicing. We're always accepting new recruits. You can come in and out of boot camp. You can come into boot camp and keep assessing and join the league and make a roster.
Yeah, and there are even some people that go into training camp and they're not looking to join the team. They're just coming there for, that 3 times a week athleticism for, the workout.
So you do welcome that? That someone
Yes.
just come and hang out? In a sense, they're
You
hanging
cannot
out.
hang out.
Well, let me rephrase. Not to work out, but not their end goal is not to be
Yes.
skating. They're just working out. All right.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to be exhausted, unlike anything you've ever felt in your whole
sure.
life,
I'm sure, yeah.
2 to 3 times a week, then come see us.
For health reasons,
For your health,
Yeah.
for fun,
Yeah.
for community.
If you want to
for-
feel muscles burned that you didn't even know existed,
There you
yes.
Yes. Well, and I think she mentions that because we've had a lot of players who were league members that have had children and then left the league because they want to devote time to their family,
right.
but they don't want to leave roller derby.
Yeah, so they'll
we accept that. You can come back and practice with us and keep
not
up.
to hang out.
You cannot hang out,
Yeah,
Kevin.
just to work out.
You can work out with
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
And the other great thing too is some people are, they're not really wanting that full contact aspect. So you can come there. If you want to be on skates, you can learn how to referee. If you don't want to be on skates, but you just want to be a part of.
Don't the referees wear skates?
They do,
Yeah.
but we're always seeking referees and officials, and also what we call NSO, so non-skating officials. We need people to keep time, keep score,
Track penalties.
track penalties. There's a lot that goes into
I'm sure, yeah.
just putting on a sanctioned game because we need so many volunteers.
Right.
So even if you don't want to be on skates, but you want to be a part of this, please call us. Please contact us.
Interesting. I have to check my schedule. It'd be interesting because that is a sport that I
you would
know
be a
of.
Great announcer, Kevin.
Yeah. That gets fun.
Well, that might be fun. Think about it.
Yeah, there are even people that come in there and they just want to volunteer and help set up the track and the seating and everything that they don't.
There's
you
so much
know.
that goes into it.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. So you got February 23rd is your opening bout. When will the season end?
June.
So, okay.
June,
Yeah.
at the end of June. And there's a doubleheader that day, so the juniors will play first.
You're talking about the 23rd here?
Yes.
Right, yeah.
The juniors will play first, and then the All-Stars will play, and it will be great. I'm excited. It's exciting.
And then on March 9th is when the Bourbon Brawlers go on, so our B team will be playing.
So we actually just made the roster for the B team.
Yay.
And we can't believe it because we just started a year ago. We came up through boot camp together. We got, we joined the league at the same time or passed our
awesome.
tests. And when we both saw that we were on the roster, we were like, that is so cool.
In it to win it.
And we're in it to win it.
New BFFs. Yeah.
We live across the street
I
from
live
one
across
another.
the yeah. So, wow. All right. Social media. You mentioned the website, but go ahead and say it again. The website and all the social media. Go ahead.
DerbyCityRollerGirls.com. If you are interested in being one of our sponsors, it's sponsor us at DerbyCityRollerGirls.com. And I think that's it. If you want to find more information out about boot camp, it's training camp. Is that right? Training camp at DerbyCityRollerGirls.com.
I know it's on the website.
It's all on the website, though. I would say go to
But I
the
know-
website, check out the skaters.
You also are on Facebook,
We're
Twitter,
on Facebook.
Instagram.
We're on Facebook,
I know-
Twitter, and Instagram.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. So we're also on Snapchat, DCRG_strong on Snapchat, our newest social media outlet. So check us out there. And other than that, come see us.
Absolutely.
Come hang out.
Yeah, and the next time we talk, we have some homework for you. You got to think up a name for yourself.
Yeah, next time we talk with you,
I need
you're
my
going to be
nickname.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, your own nickname.
Obviously, I can't be Kamikaze or
No, you
Liberty or
cannot.
Yeah,
she'll need
not-
crutch. What was that? She'll need a.
She'll need a
She'll
crutch.
need a
I can't
crutch,
do it. That's a good
Kamikaze
one.
Kelly, Liberty Cameron.
Yeah, you
Keep,
cannot
keep
be
going.
any
Give,
of them.
give us a few of those
But
nicknames,
you know,
girl.
oh my gosh, there's a contract killer,
Lady Trample.
Lady Trample. There's so
You know,
many.
for you all to come on and say that you all don't condone violence or not trying to hurt people. Listen to your all's nicknames. I mean, seriously, they're thug gangsta names.
But it's all like individualistic and fun, right? So you can have like a separate
You don't
personality.
think any of you are
Like,
channeling
you don't-
that?
You don't know
that
what my
Shelley
day job
doesn't
is.
that Shelley doesn't get on the get out there and like she'll need a crutch. She's gonna need a
She
crutch.
doesn't. She's so sweet.
Yeah, my husband said that sometimes it sounds like we're hanging out with a bunch of criminals.
Exactly.
But we're not. It's a diverse group of women.
No,
It's a
that's
lot
very
of fun.
Yeah, they're the most like intelligent, professional, worldly, well-traveled people I've ever met.
It's diverse. It's fun, and come hang with us.
Again, I've had several on the show, and they great personalities, good people that I would want to walk down a dark alley with.
There you go.
Exactly. Skate
There you
down a
go.
dark alley with.
Skate with us.
All right, ladies, good stuff. This 23rd, which is what are we at today? So it's a little.
It's coming up.
11 days. Yeah, so,
11
good,
days.
Yeah, good luck, and I will get to one of these because to me, this is probably one of those things you have to be there to really experience it. You know, to get the full.
Well, and the great thing too is if you're trying to go out for a Saturday night, you know, and you see a $12 ticket, you know, like how can you pass that up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
how
pretty
can you
good.
pass that up?
Yeah, there are so every game is a Saturday game, right? Is
think so.
Okay. All right, very good.
Thank you so much for
Parting
having us.
words, final, anything?
Thank you so much for having us, and
Absolutely.
just keep supporting local Derby
Will do.
and keep supporting Derby City Roller Girls.
Good stuff, ladies. Thanks for coming.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.